Zoo.
Fuck.
We're in with the boys from Alienist. What's going on, fellas? How you doing?
G'day, boys.
We're good. We're good.
Good, excelente.
Oh, we've had some fun already that we've only just begun. Technical difficulties is the name of this podcast. We should change our fucking name.
Yeah.
Technical difficulties. All right. So what we were doing before we got fucked over by Zoom is I was running through the band members. Down the bottom there, we've got Lachlan, who is the screamo boy. We've got Throat Tap McGee, Chris, who is the bass master, and then up the top left hand corner, if I'm correct, we've got Damon, who is the cleans master himself. Is that correct?
Yeah, homie. Yeah, homie.
Beautiful voice, by the way,
awesome.
man. I've been absolutely thrapping some Alienist over the last couple of weeks just to get my knowledge down pat. And yeah,
Might have sussed the new one today. Exile, love it, boys. Actually love it.
How stoked are you guys?
Thank you.
5 days after release of Exile. How are you guys feeling?
Yeah,
good.
really happy. The response has been really, really good. Everyone's being super supportive as usual, and I mean, we just always want to keep this show on the road, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess to talk about that network straight away, obviously this happened. This has kind of been a few months in the making, and it was we had Zico from Saren on a couple of months ago, and when we dropped that episode and posted on all the pages, he tagged Chris and was like, "You need to get these boys on," and we've just been kind of trying to make that happen. So obviously me and Chris had a chat and we decided release time for this single was the perfect time to make it happen, and here we are. Technical difficulties aside, we're fucking firing in.
We're on now.
We finally made it.
I love the song as well, the new one. I actually enjoy your catalogue thoroughly, but the new one, I guess the first thing I wanted to ask, is there anything different there in terms of, for me, it sounds like a level up. Has anything significantly changed in terms of production from previous stuff? Not that your previous stuff isn't tight as well, but this one did feel like a level up. Was there anything particular that changed?
I think when we were especially because this song's been in the works for a very long time, but we sort of kept changing it and making these because we hated it at first. Lachlan over there was the only person in the band that kept saying that it was a good song and we need to keep it. And we thankfully made some changes that we all liked, and we sort of added we changed the chorus up and we added a lot of layers. I think the biggest thing that we've done with the new music is we've added a lot of synth and we've added our electronic styles into it now. I think that's the direction we want to keep going. We want to sort of keep adding more and more to the music instead of just relying on the instruments. We really think it can be very versatile to be able to use all these different genres in different interesting ways. So
Yeah.
And I think you can get a sense of that as well. For you guys, anything else you want to add to that?
Well, yeah, as Damon was saying, it was like one of our first songs we've pretty much ever written. I think it was like probably our third song we've ever written. So it's been in the works for that long. Yeah, as he was saying, just chopping and changing things. And they were like, "No, we need to drop it. But I pushed hard for it, and I'm glad because I think it turned out very well in a couple of years later now. But
because it had such a shit chorus, dude. That's why.
It's always
glad
you
it got
got to make
changed.
sure you nail the chorus, hey? You really do. It's such an important part of a song, even a metal song. Like it needs to have that kind of like that hook that just brings you back each time.
Yeah.
So when did you guys actually start writing music as Alienist? No doubt you had previous, endeavors.
I mean, most us three, Lachlan has had some experience in bands, but nothing. I mean, Lachlan, you can explain your history first. You go.
Yeah. So yeah, I've been in bands. I think me and Damon have played together, and Jake, our drummer, since high school.
Oh, cool.
Wow.
So we were always like those group of friends that just hung out in the prac room at school and everything. So we've got that connection together. But this is kind of our first real. Jake the drummer's been in a lot of like hardcore bands through the scene throughout the years. But what was it, 2018, 2019? I think we finally got together and we were just like 2019, and we just we just hit the prac room and just went from there. But yeah, I think it works well that me, Damon, and Jake and Chris, we've been friends for a long time too. So
that's awesome.
We all kind of just meshed together and it worked really well.
Yeah, so you got that synergy from the get-go. It's not like just ragtag putting everything together. You guys have been friends for a while.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I guess while we were already talking to you, give us, your history, not necessarily with bands, but musically, what kind of, got you to get into it and led you to where you are now?
Well, I was in high school. I'd say I was probably a bass player. or a guitarist.
Not a
and then I
bass
was just
master
like,
though.
no, not the bass master.
There's a big
No
difference
one's
between a
a
bass
bass
player and a
master.
bass master. That's for sure.
Only
But
Chris.
I don't know when I started doing vocals. I think it was probably just after high school and stuff like that. And I was in like a little bit of a deathcore band before this, but we never really went anywhere. Just kind of in the writing. We never really played shows. And then I just decided, no, I'm going to stick with vocals. And these guys really liked my vocals. So when we got together, it was just super easy just to keep pushing it and go from there.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's awesome.
And for the other guys as well, Chris, if you want to go next, we haven't let you talk much yet. So tell us about your history from bass player to bass master.
So pretty much, it was like I played in a few like high school bands or that sort of stuff. Big gap since after high school. Didn't really play any music. Kind of just did my trade, worked, all that sort of stuff. And then it was like about 2017. I just thought, I want to play bass. So I went out, bought a bass, and it was about a month later that I met the rest of the boys.
Oh, cool.
We started like jamming and all that sort of stuff. So I never really played bass before this. So
there you go. And you're already
just
saying you're a
became the bass master.
Yeah,
Yeah,
wow,
that's
there you
it.
go. Isn't it
3
crazy
years.
though how like you have that kind of epiphany of like I want to go and pick up an instrument again, and then the rest of the things just kind of fall into place after that. It's always weird how that kind of happens. And for you, Damon, a bit of your musical history. You've obviously got some guitars in the background there, so I was told that you're just the clean singer, but I'm sure that there's more to you than that. What's your musical history?
Oh yeah, so I'm the clean singer, but I also do the rhythm guitar for the band, and I do a lot of the writing as well. So in regards to my history, I mean, I just had my dad and my brother that knew a little bit of guitar when I was growing up, and then I started playing Guitar Hero.
Yeah,
And then I was
what a
like, that's
classic,
it. I want to learn guitar. And that was the start of it. And I never really got lessons or anything. I just taught myself tabs and then went from there. And then, did the usual high school thing and going through the Parkway cover band stuff, doing a day to remember and Parkway covers at merit assemblies and embarrassing ourselves in front of the whole school, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, and then eventually we left school and I sort of fell out of music for a while. Fell out of metal for a while, even just like kind of didn't really do much. And then I got hit up by the drummer Jake saying, there's these 2 guys and they're asking if we want to make a band and if I knew any guitarists. So he asked me, and that was sort of the beginning. And then it was like, all right, now I got to buy gear again, got to buy guitars again. And that was it. And then Alienist started. Yeah.
Awesome.
Can I ask you what genre got you for the period that you went away from metal? Because a lot of people have this where they like, I'll do it from time to time where I'm just like, I'm 80% metal, but then every now and then I'll just be like, have a week of just something completely obscure. Was there
100%. Like this week for me, I've just been thrashing the new Alice in Wonderland album.
That's so random. Dude.
Yeah.
That's amazing. She's a fucking legend.
Yeah.
Was there a particular genre that got you in that break from metal?
I mean, it was probably hip hop.
Yeah.
I was really into that sort of stuff for a while, but I mean, I'm that guy that goes from Led Zeppelin to Kid Laroi to acoustic to whatever. Like I listen to indie and stuff as well. Like I just love all music pretty much.
So do you find that that's affected the writing process for Alienist then? Being able to draw, like you were saying before, you were like, we're going to add in extra bits and pieces. Do you find that maybe listening to these things has then affected the way that you write your hardcore too?
Probably. And I try to make sure that I'm looking at what's popping in the scope of music in general, not just in our genre itself. I care about the music industry, not just the metal industry necessarily. I just want to make sure that we make, I love metal. Metal's the best, come on. But at the same time, I think it definitely affects the writing process, especially since I like my electronic and stuff like that. I would definitely want to add that to the music in some form.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's no like SoundCloud bars like when you were going through your hip hop phase. We're not going to find some.
I was too scared to do it, man.
Yeah,
I did hip hop beats. I've been doing beats for a long time, but I never actually put myself on the track. I was too scared.
Yeah.
What's funny, my co-host here was like a former hip hop artist, and then made like a blend of hip hop and metal, and then just has gone full metal lately with a project that's not out yet. But it's funny how you go through those. I'm just not musically. I played drums in high school, but that's about as much as my musical talent goes. I just love the shit, man. Same thing. Metal was just my favorite thing. The community, and everything. So I guess let's have a little talk about your influences. I guess from being young, but all the way up to what you draw from a metal perspective, probably more so for Alienist. What's the obviously Architects you've got there on the jumper? We're a big fan of those here as well. But what are the kind of bands that you've loved or that your favorites, and what you try and draw from for Alienist?
You want to go first, Chris?
Yeah. So from a young age, what got me into metal and music in general was the very first band I ever loved was Korn.
Yeah.
That's my favorite band.
That's killer.
Yeah. So I was like 8 years old when I heard Follow the Leader album, and there was coming pumping from next door's house. And then I was like, oh, yeah, this is sick. And I just
Fuck yeah.
wanted to get, like, that's what I loved since that day.
Yeah.
Loved Linkin Park as well. That was another one that really throughout the years. But like coming up into recent years, I think like my favorite artist would be Bring Me the Horizon's right up there.
Yeah, same, man, same.
I love Falling in Reverse, Escape the Fate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All that sort of stuff. Do love Wage War. It's
Fuck yeah.
definitely a big influence on like when I helped to write stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's
killer. Yeah, it's a good palette.
Yeah.
It's fucking good. Basically the same for me, hey? Like everything he's mentioned.
Everything I've been a Ronnie Radke dick rider since like 2006 when Dying Is Your Latest Fashion came out. I literally, like Erica, my wife the other day was saying that I need to get a tattoo soon, and I always say to her that I'd like to get the chick from the cover of Dying Is Your Latest Fashion. I just love that.
That's an iconic album artwork though, for
It
sure.
is. It's so good. And I just thought that would be something that would be cool. Like it's just an album that I love front to back. And
did you get around the new Falling in Reverse song?
Yeah, that's actually not bad. I kind of like how he's doing that like newer sound that a lot of the bands are doing. But then he just keeps throwing these like heavy beat down
it's like double drop
breakdowns,
D fucking breakdown.
And I'm like, I fuck with it, dude. Like that's good because it still gives me that taste of like, you know, the shit I really like, but in a song that's, you know,
it's almost like a pop version of metal. Almost.
Yeah. I fuck with it. All right, we'll go Damon next. Talk us through your musical.
I grew up with a big brother, so I sort of copied him for a while.
Yep.
You know, it started with like Blink 182 and Sum 41, and Offspring, and it was like a punk thing. And then it went in. I mean, and it was a combo of that and like Metallica and Black Sabbath and Ozzy and Zeppelin and all that sort of stuff. And that was the reason I started playing guitar, was sort of like the Metallica, the 80s sort of vibe stuff. And then,
of course.
And then it wasn't until high school. It took me so long to get into like the heavier stuff. I remember talking to a girl on MSN, and she said she had the Bring Me the Horizon artwork on MSN, and I didn't know what it was, and I was like, "What the fuck is that?" And then I looked it up, and I thought she was satanic or some shit.
Which album is the Suicide Season?
Yeah, the Suicide. Yeah.
Nah, it was before Suicide Season.
Oh, the Count Your Blessings one.
You Can't Get Blessings one.
That's like it looks like a fucking shark tank, doesn't it? Like a fish tank.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I wonder what this is. And dude, I was like, what the fuck is this? But yeah, it took me a few years, but started in Slipknot and Bullet, and it went into Parkway and Prom Queen and all the usuals, and then it just went on from there. And in regards to now, I mean, I got back into the metalcore mainly because of Polaris's Mortal Coil album. When I heard that, it sort of just rekindled what I love about metalcore and stuff. It hit different for me.
Well, it's interesting you say that, right? Because we were just saying before, he was like, I'm going to ask them what they think about Polaris, because some of the riffs, you hear it, you can tell it's inspired by it, you know, like I think it was a Landslide I listened to today, and I was like, I think that's one of them that has that real kind of like Polaris-y, I don't know, almost like feel to it with the open chords.
Yeah, the two that I picked out as well were the main riff of Reverence and the bridge in Deadline, that like bridge in the middle of Deadline that just, is just fucking... just a very, very tasty riff. And I got big Polaris vibes. So I was like, I'm going to see if they bring it up. If not, I'll say, like, you know, are they someone that you draw
That's a compliment.
from?
You're 100% right, dude. You're 100% right. Polaris is definitely easily one of the top influences on us. I mean, Wage War's up there as well. And then there's just like those tiny snippets of my thrash or like my Metallica fun, or like tiny snippets of my days in hardcore and
Yeah.
the usual Trapped Under Ice and all that sort of stuff is in there as well. I just sort of, but yeah, I mean, Polaris is definitely up there. I think they're killing it at the game. And
they are, for me, and we talk about these guys so much. The amount of people that have listened to the pod and been like, you guys didn't shut the fuck up about Polaris. I've started listening to them and I totally get it. So thank you, but like, shut the fuck up.
Find a new fucking band to talk about.
But you know, what we say all the time though is that like they're just doing everything that's good about the way that bands are moving, and they're doing it better, or so well, maybe not better, but it's just the cleans and the, you know, the melodic stuff, and they're just nailing it, and they're still doing the heavy and the breakdowns and everything so well as well. And they're just, but then they bring it all together in one song. They don't need to necessarily split it up across, you know, multiple songs in the album. You can have one song where you'll get a bit of, you know, what is great about lots of bands in one song, and you know they're deserving all the accolades that they get. I went
for sure, dude.
Yeah, 100%.
They did 2 shows in Adelaide, and I ended up buying tickets for the second night and just went and saw them twice because I was just like, I have not seen live music in 2 years, and once was just not going to be enough.
Yeah, so Lachlan, vocally,
Yes.
what do you tend to draw your inspiration from?
Oh, well, like when I was younger, I was kind of the same as Damon, the older brother thing. And mine was more grunge, like Nirvana and stuff like that. That's where it all started. And then the same thing, like, the Black Sabbath and all those old school rock things.
Yeah.
But lately, like obviously I love Architects. Probably my favorite band, and Sam's probably my favorite vocalist of just his variety of screams and singing.
He's another person we talk about on the pod all the time, because I think that he, in terms of the level that he goes to live, even though his recorded is so good, and then he does a live show and then throws in all these really low growls and shit that you just don't get on recordings, and then just blows your mind in a live show. I don't think anyone does it better than him, where it's not only that he does good enough compared to his recordings, he brings it another level, and it's just, that's insane to be able to do that.
Yeah, for years, I think I was saying to Damon or even Jake before we seen them live, I was like, no, you need to come and watch these guys live. Like the way they do it and how tight they are, and just the way he does it live is just insane. But I'm not that good, so.
But I don't think many people would be that kind of level. Yeah.
So another one, like the 2 boys said, maybe Wage War. Yeah. Just those lower growls and stuff. But I've been trying to influence a lot of just like the yelly kind of sing along kind of things as well. There's a couple of bits in the new song as well, but with the stuff we've been writing lately, it's just probably like a lot of the verses are versatile around that kind of thing.
And it's a good scream, man. Like, obviously, I complimented Damon off the top, but I can't not give you your flowers, dude, because it's you definitely got a set of pipes there yourself. So it's just a good sound, man. I'm surprised. I said when I rocked up here, I was like, you know, I think you guys have a sound that is definitely far and away above, you know, I guess the reach that you guys have got so far, and I hope that translates as well as what it does in me listening. And I'm not just blowing wind up your skirt because you're on the podcast. It's definitely something where, look, I said when Zico tagged you guys, and I said to Chris straight away, I remember all those months ago, I was like, dude, you guys are fucking sick. Like, that's so, you know, if that serves as a bit of motivation to keep on trucking when sometimes, you know, times are tough and you're trying to get your name out there in a sea of bands trying to do the same thing, then, you know, that's the least I can do, man, because you guys are you're onto something, and you've got a good dynamic sound, and keep at it, because I definitely think that there's something there, and it's worth pushing that time and energy into.
Yeah. So moving forward, where are you guys heading? What's the future look like for Alienist?
I mean, can we say what we're going to do next?
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
All right.
Yeah, go for it.
We're going to go record an EP. Very soon. So keep your eyes
peeled. You in the writing phase at the moment. How does it sort of work? Is it sort of like you'll come in with a riff, and then Lachlan will go over with some vocals or write some lyrics to it, and then you'll nut it out from there with the extra bits, or?
It's sort of like I'll basically create a template for a song. I'll do most of the riffs. I'll do most of the structure, but then at the same time, I like these 2 boys especially to be there as much as they possibly can, because I need somebody there that could be critical of what I'm writing.
Yeah,
I need somebody there to critique everything that's being put down, so that I know whether it's keepable or we get rid of it. And then from there, once the instrumental's done, then we'll work on lyrics, and then the drummer will put his part in, because I can't write drums for the life of me. So
yeah, writing
Just
natural drums
take
is
it and
hard.
crack it out.
So who writes the lyrics then? Is it one person in particular, or is it more of like
It's usually probably me, Damon, and Chris. Usually we kind of get together and we will just sit there and like we'll just play the verse over and over again, or the intro over and over again, and we'll have like a certain like we kind of get the feel of the song. So if it's like a dark kind of song, we'll go with that kind of theme or vibe, and we'll just sit there and we'll just like, all right. And after like half an hour of playing the intro over and over again, we'll be like, all right, what he's got. Yep. Who's got the best thing? Who's is less cringy?
Yeah.
How many nautical references? How many nautical references have you got?
Do you have like a theme?
Most wins.
Is there like a theme that you guys tend to gravitate towards, or is it kind of on a song by song basis, like off the vibe?
Usually a song by song basis, but at the same time, I mean, a lot of us like to speak about mental health, and we like to sort of talk about our own issues, and we use it as an out. Wait, what's the word?
Outlet.
Yeah,
Thank you.
outlet.
An outlet for any of our issues. I mean, sometimes we'll just try to think of something cool to start off the song. Otherwise, we go into it with a actual message that we want to convey in the song. It just depends on the mood. But for the EP especially, we're looking at it in a much more mature way, and we want to sort of have a theme throughout the whole EP, and we sort of want to make sure that everything has a meaning that means something to us. So it's definitely going to be personal. I think there's a lot of ideas from all of us that are going to be personal to us, but yeah, that's
awesome. We have a big focus on mental health here in Wormholes, and we quite often do just episodes with just us two, or have guests that come on and we just talk about mental health, because we think it's something that needs to be brought up more in conversation. And pushing that kind of message in music is such an important thing, eh?
Yeah. And it's so cathartic as well, like for us with the pod, and I'm sure for you guys as well, like you're writing lyrics and doing whatever, but then you're, like you said, if you guys are getting together and then writing lyrics and kind of talking through, I'm sure like we do when we do a mental health app, like I leave feeling better than what I did before. And I'm sure you guys probably sometimes as well, find it cathartic to go through that process and then leave feeling like, man, I just wrote those lyrics and I probably don't even feel as, as what I did when I was thinking about writing that song to begin with. Is that something that you guys can kind of resonate with as well?
100%. We're each other's therapists a lot of the time. And in regards to the reason we do it, I mean, I think a lot of bands, I wouldn't necessarily have a responsibility, but I think it's important to spread more awareness about these things. So it's always good to get it out there. Yeah,
absolutely, man. And it's like, again, when it's this kind of weird world where everyone has a platform now, right? So, anyone can just create an account on something and have a platform. So there does become this level of like social responsibility on people that are trying to use that platform to create content, to at least be trying to sometimes turn the focus into something that needs it. And I'm sure you guys as well, we've definitely been impacted by losses of people, close to us from a mental health perspective. So it was always, when we said we wanted to create this, it was going to be music, it was going to be mental health, it was going to be conspiracies, because that's the shit we love. But it was always one of the big, pillars of this podcast was going to be focusing on that. And, it's probably our favorite part as well, is like, we love it when we get to have these kind of conversations. And, when we were talking to Tom from Patient 67, and we went on a massive, tangent with him talking about how those guys, got through being in Perth through that whole pandemic, when the band kind of was really getting some popularity online, but they couldn't play a show because it just was impossible. And that kind of feeling and having that conversation. And that's why we want to do these pods with bands as well, is because you don't get to hear that side of stuff. You might be able to listen to the lyrics and take your own interpretation out of what that means, but then to actually have a conversation where you're like, hey, how did you guys go through the pandemic not being able to play a show when your band was clearly, chomping at the bit to do so? It's so good to be able to get that feedback. So I think that's what we want to try and be as this pod as well, is like, hopefully we can string more of these kind of conversations together where we get to have those conversations and hear how the band come to be, and also how they get through the challenges that comes with being a band, because it's not easy. Like, you know, it may seem all glamorous, but we've been very close to the scene here in Adelaide for a long time, and we know just how, you know, trying it is to actually try and make something. And like, it was better a long time ago, but the scene in Adelaide is really dead at this point.
Yeah. Where are you guys based?
In Wollongong,
Sydney.
is that correct?
Wollongong.
Sydney. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I did my
But
research.
you guys in Adelaide had the longest lockdown out of everyone, I'm pretty sure, didn't you?
It was just restrictions. Like, it wasn't really a lockdown. It was just so poorly managed. And again, we won't get conspiratorial on you, but we can tell you our opinions on that whole fucking thing. But it was just more that, you know, the capacity. What fucked us the most is that we would have capacity reduction and then increase. And so no one could, and that was just happening toing and froing constantly.
Postponements and fucking...
So like, you've got I Prevail tomorrow, and
Yeah.
that's what 2 years ago that was supposed to be. Those Polaris shows, they were obviously 2 years ago. We had Full Tilt, what we were supposed to have cancelled, even though it went ahead in some of the other states, just because they couldn't.
Same with Sydney.
Yeah, because they couldn't get the capacity shit sorted to be able to let us have it at a venue that matched the amount of tickets that they'd already sold for it. So we just missed out on so much shit. So yeah, it's just been but it's all, you know, starting
it's starting to come back now.
Yeah.
It really is.
But even still, even before the pandemic, honestly, like, Adelaide used to have such an incredible like scene. We had a weekly night called Black Market where we'd have touring, even international bands playing this show all the time, and now there's just nothing even remotely similar to it. So, you know, bands are then having to commit to something where it's all off their own back to take the risk to come here, and that just, you know, doesn't always get it across the line. So yeah, you know, it's just difficult where, you know, we're in a position where there's just nothing for us to constantly get to. We got to hope that a band takes a chance for us to be able to get out to it. And then sometimes, again, you know, we don't do ourselves any favors. A band does come and we don't sell it out. So it's like, you know, we only have ourselves to blame. So
yeah, we had a fun seated show in Adelaide on our most recent tour. So
oh,
that was
shit.
great.
Who did you play with on that one?
Atlas.
Yes. Oh God, man, those guys are fucking huge at the moment as well.
They're amazing, man.
They are releasing some of that Kameza theme or whatever, that breakdown at the end of that. Fuck me, that is just
the empty China just by itself.
Yeah. So
they deserve everything that they deserve everything that's coming their way. Like,
fuck yeah.
That's the one good thing, man. Like, it is an exciting time to be an Australian metal fan, though, with everything opening back up and all these tours starting to happen. Like, I got to see Mirrors recently on that Polaris show.
Yeah.
Fuck,
who else is there? Oh, Alpha Wolf.
Yeah, Alpha Wolf. I mean, they've been around for a long time, but they were amazing as well. But yeah, Mirrors, who are relatively new. Have you guys heard of Loon as well? You heard of Loon?
Yes.
Again, another band that's just relatively new, but just has an incredible sound, and there's a fair bit of that going at the moment. So with everything opening back up, hopefully we get to see just a consistent flow of tours. An Adelaide band called Heartline. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're starting to get around a bit lately. If you haven't, check them out. They're one of the best things we've got coming out of Adelaide at the moment.
Yeah, 100%.
So with your EP, right, do you plan on doing some kind of a tour or a couple of shows here and there, or?
I'd say it's almost 100% guaranteed that we will be coming to a city near everybody.
Even Perth.
Yes. Yeah, I'm thinking
that's awesome.
Yeah, I think we do everything. I reckon that's the go.
That's dope.
Well, this is the other thing I love about doing this, right? Is that obviously, you know, we've hooked up with Tom. Tom wants to come back for Patient 67 when they do their album release next month. They're coming here in August as well. And like, now I'm so excited to go to the show and be able to catch up. And then, you know, obviously I've got to meet all of you guys through this. So when you guys come to Adelaide, you know, we're going to be absolutely making sure we're there. So it just kind of it invests us even more in these bands that we already like the sound of and we would have gone to your show, but it just adds a whole nother level of like why we can't wait to see you or whoever else we have a chat to that's coming along. We've got a band from Adelaide that are coming on next week. They're a weird name called Swordfish Trombone, but they had a Wacken Festival Battle of the Bands, and they've made it to the international finals. So they won the Adelaide heat. They won the national heat, or they were one of the two bands that got through in the national heat. And now they're off to Germany next month, and I've just known this guy for like 8 or 9 years. So him and his band are coming on next week onto the show to tell us about, you know, the band's only existed. It was like their 15th show or something that they've ever played. played, and now they're on their way to Germany to possibly be a part of Wacken Festival if they're able
Dude,
to
I
win
hope
that
they
thing,
win.
so.
That's incredible.
How
man.
good,
And
right?
just going
It's so
overseas,
fucking
man, like
cool.
that's-
So
yeah.
that's the kind of shit we love. But yeah, we hope that you guys are obviously able to. Is there a time frame roughly on when you're hoping? Again, it's always something that is subject to change when it comes to this kind of stuff. But is there something you're aiming for in terms of we'd love to have the EP done by this time and hopefully in a city near you by this time?
I think we're just hoping to have the EP out and, you know, the usual music video and singles and stuff out by maybe at least the single out by the end of this year, and the EP by early next year. And then we can organize the tour for the EP after that.
I think that'd be good timing too. If you drop your single at the end of this year and then the EP at the start of next year, and then maybe if you do a tour like February, March, the weather's still going to be good. People are going to want to be coming out. I think the timing works perfect.
Yeah. And are you changing anything
sure.
with the like? Are you going? We're stepping it up with the production. We're going to go get it done here, or you're taking a different approach, or without giving all your secrets, of course.
Yeah, I won't give away too much, but I will say that like it's definitely going to be a different sound. And it's definitely going to be a different approach, and we think it's another level up for what we're going to do. So it's going to be dope. I can't wait for people to hear what we've been doing. Seriously.
That's so good. And you've got a fair bit of it sort of together. Like it's more so waiting to, you know, we're just trying to sharpen the edges and then we're going in and we're recording it all in one big hit, or is that
yeah,
kind of
pretty much. I mean, we've got most of it laid out. We just sort of want to keep adjusting things before we go in.
Yeah, of course.
But,
yeah.
Yeah, I'm
And
sure.
do you guys like practice it live and then go in and record, or is it something that you go record then you practice?
I mean, we've already sort of got a single for the EP picked out, and we already play it live in our set.
Cool.
But in regards to the other songs, it hasn't gotten practice live for us yet.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's it like, obviously, in Sydney, or and I'm not sure, my geography is horrible in terms of where Wollongong's situated compared to everything else. In Adelaide, it's just Adelaide, right? There's none of these other, like, you know, slightly bigger towns around the place. So what's it like for you guys, obviously, doing shows local to Wollongong and around, you know, New South Wales and stuff as well? Is that starting to pick back up now and something that you're able to kind of count on a little bit more moving forward?
Yeah, we've got... Yeah, it's like Sydney's like an hour and a half north.
Yeah,
for
right.
us
Okay.
At the moment.
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah, right.
For Wollongong, there's not that many venues, unfortunately, so it's a bit hard to get here. And unless you want to play the same one and you just like beat it to death, you're just playing the same venue every couple of weeks or every month.
Yeah.
We're trying to steer away from that at the moment. And then we've got one, I don't know if we can say yet, in Newcastle.
Cool.
Not sure where. And then we're in Melbourne in August.
Oh, awesome.
Well. So,
and where's Nui, like in... you're going to give me a geography lesson live on the podcast.
I think you got Sydney, and then I think it's another 2 hours north again.
Oh, fucking hell. So they're not like
coast.
close, are
Oh,
they?
shit. That's crazy. Like, if you go 2 hours out of Adelaide, you're in cunt fuck nowhere. Like,
Yeah,
you're not in a town.
Oh, yeah, we
There's
know,
fucking population is like crows. Like,
Yeah,
literally
just
fucking
a few tumbleweeds.
tumbleweeds and a fucking crow.
And a serial rapist. There's definitely
No
nothing.
grass to be seen.
What's the population in Wollongong? Because like that's a pretty well-known town. So
Yeah,
there
yeah.
must be a few people there.
Yeah, it's pretty populated, like a pretty.
I could tell you in about
It's a
10
city,
seconds.
so
Yeah, there
it's
you
like,
go.
yeah,
Get
it's
the
pretty
Google
neat.
happening.
Yeah,
Are you all
yeah.
Wollongong like born and raised, or have you moved around, like ended up there, or?
We are, yeah. All three of us are. Anthony, our guitarist, was from another 2 hours south, so he's only recently moved up when he pretty much joined our band.
Well,
Yeah, other's we were all born and raised here.
and so there's
300,000.
300,000.
300,000.
Wow.
That's bigger than I thought it was. Fucking
Yeah,
hell.
that's crazy. So there's 5 members in total then. So we've got you 3 boys, and then we've got Anthony and the
And the
guitarist,
drummer.
and then Jake the drummer.
Yeah.
Man, I'm good with
That's right.
names.
You
I'm
are fucking good with
I'm
names,
remembering
bro.
shit
Yeah, that's
today.
impressive.
We
Dude.
might have technical difficulties, but we don't have fucking
Yeah,
memory
not mental
difficulties.
ones.
All right, well, we're gonna get into the guestions, which is basically we've got a recurring segment at the end of every podcast where every guest that we've ever had on has been asked the same Well, basically the same. We've forgotten one question every now and then, or
Yeah,
whatever.
every now
But
and then, but yeah.
every guest has basically been asked a set of questions. So we'll fire in.
We'll fire it in.
Question number one.
Question number one.
Hit him.
You hit him with question number one. I normally hit him with question number one.
All right. Question number one, and it's a tough one. What is your favorite song of all time? Now,
Man.
Yeah,
we always say that just to like hit you with that scare factor, but we'll allow you to give us a top three. But then after you give us a top three, we're still going to ask you to choose one out of those three.
Jesus Christ.
The good thing is with three of you, one of you gets to dob the other one in first and make them go, and you get more time
Chris,
to think about
what's
it.
your
So-
favorite, Chris?
Chris hasn't talked. Yeah,
All right,
so
Chris, hit us
Bass
up.
Master, hit us with your favorite song of all time.
Basement Jacks.
Or Basement Jacks.
Anything with band.
Bassman Jacks, yeah. Or your top three, and then we'll make you narrow it down.
Okay, top three. Korn, It's On.
Yeah.
Big, probably. It's a newer song, but Bring Me to Horizon, One by One.
Yeah,
I love that
I
song.
like that one. Yeah.
And my favorite song is Don't Stay by Linkin Park.
Oh, that's your
Ooh,
favorite.
okay.
That's your top. That's
That's
your
number one. That's El Numero.
That's my number one.
There you go.
Dope.
You actually nailed that, dude. So see,
Fuck
it's not
yeah.
even that
Yeah,
hard.
Jesus.
Pressure's on now,
This
boys.
is on, boys.
Whatever, dude.
Lachlan, you're up next.
Yes.
Oh man. Damon's
He's looking at his Spotify. He's
Yeah.
looking at his
Hey, fucking
history,
put that shit down. Needs to be off
Hey,
the
do you know
dome.
the site Spotify stats where you can actually look at what your top played of all time is? Do you know that's a thing?
No.
Yeah, I did know that.
Oh,
Okay.
dude.
He's doing it now. He's doing it
I
now.
don't think it's quite correct because when we did it, it said my top artist was Hawk, and it's like I like Hawk, but they're not number one, man.
Yeah, but did you have a new account after a certain? Or have you
No,
had
I've had the same
account
one since
forever?
2016, bro.
See, mine's accurate. I'm pretty sure it's a Raised by Volumes, and that is my.
That's a
fucking
good
top
song,
played
yeah,
of
fuck
fucking-
yeah.
That is a good song.
Oh, dude, riff of all riffs. That song.
Yeah. Jesus. I'm gonna go Blood Moon by Make Them Suffer.
Oh,
Speaking of riffs,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know guitar terms, but what's the fucking?
oh, the natural harmonic.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that thing gets me. That gets me
That's
up
a
in the
sick
morning.
song. Oh fuck. I'm gonna go Lateralis by Tool.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Shit, we haven't had any Tool.
No, we definitely
Oh.
haven't had a Tool fan on the pod.
Disgusting.
Or one more. I just want to spit something out, and I fucking.
This could go anywhere
listen to
now.
that
We've
Yeah,
gone from
yeah,
Blood
yeah.
Moon to Tool. Like this could be, and you know, Liberace's fucking third movement or something.
Lil Jon and A-Side
Yeah,
Boys.
that's
Yes.
Shots.
Yeah, sure.
Dem Jeans by Chingy.
Let's go Castles in the Air by Architects.
Architects. Yes, that album is just that's my favorite album.
It's hard to put a favorite album though for me with those guys.
With Architects? No.
Yeah, I started listening to
Lost
them
Forever, Lost
like
Together,
at
for
the
sure.
at the very start. Maybe not their very first one.
Hollow Crown, I think.
Yeah,
is the one.
Hollow Crown was when I started listening to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
Right.
up.
Damon, you've had
You're
enough
up.
time.
You've
man.
had enough
He's,
time.
yeah, he's gone on Spotify
I haven't,
stats.
though.
He's
Sail
fucking
of the
at all.
Century music.
I still fucking haven't. But I'm gonna go with Lucid by Polaris as one of my top three, just
yeah.
because
Yeah.
good song.
that riff was easily one of the reasons that I just like did a 180 and went back into metal.
Yeah.
And then I've got to put like I'm trying to think of something like from my roots, some Black Sabbath or Metallica or I mean,
You said Parkway very early, and you said A Day to Remember is one of their songs up there. Parkway's they're not anymore because their new sound, but Parkway are my former favorite band of all time. My son's called Winston, so there's a reason.
I love Parkway from the like back in the day, but it hasn't held up for me at the same level as it was when we listened to it.
Of
back
course.
then.
Yeah.
I just feel like it just didn't. Yeah, but like I don't know. Let's just go with Blackened by Metallica and Mr. Crowley by Ozzy Osbourne. We'll go with
Yeah, okay,
good.
cool. Bit of
What a
old
vast
school vibes.
range. What a vast range of
I
things
like
in
it.
there.
I like
Well
it.
done.
All
Question
right,
number 2.
Question number 2. Who is your favorite comedian or comedic actor?
Yeah, big change up.
All right, we're going
Chris,
to go
go
you
first?
first now, Damon, with this time.
Yeah, you gotta go first. No Google.
I'm gonna go Ricky Gervais.
Oh,
I don't think have we had Ricky?
I don't think we've had Ricky. I watched his special last night, the most recent one.
Yeah. How do you feel about that? With the we kind of got into transgender rights in the last podcast because you forced us to go down there. And
No,
I
it's because
want to go there at all.
I
But
just needed to poke the bear a little bit. You know,
you
like-
fucking poked it, all right. But
I mean, it's definitely like it can be sensitive, and with Ricky Gervais, it can be actually, most comedians these days can be controversial, I guess.
yeah,
but,
yeah.
by the
I guess
standard
I
of
just-
what's controversial, which is fucking everything.
Yeah, exactly. I think with Ricky, you know, I'm an atheist as well, so I definitely agree with that side of his stand up, and I've always leaned towards British humor and how much of an arsehole he is. Pretty much.
Yeah, fair enough.
His what is it? Not Logies. That's Australian. The fucking
Golden Globes.
The Golden Globes
Yeah.
monologue, where he's just
Oh,
fucking
bro.
telling them all how they're
Yeah.
all Jeffrey Epstein's friend. And again, conspiracy theorist in me absolutely fucking love
Absolutely agrees.
that. Love that tirade. So yeah, I have a lot of love for him for sticking it to them. We'll go, Chris. Back to you now. Who's
Everyone always has such cool things, and then mine's just like so basic all the time.
Carl Barron?
Come on.
Oh, he's up there, but not quite. Like with movies, probably like just Adam Sandler, because his movies are so iconic and funny as. Jim Jeffries is pretty funny as well. I like Jim Jeffries.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd be mine.
Awesome.
A guy I did a show with, because I am a comedian as well. That's why I'm not a musical man, because I had to find something else to channel energy into. But a guy that I did my Fringe show with in 2020 just opened for Jim Jeffries in Sydney literally last weekend. So it's not me doing it, but like he did a show with me. So technically by some
like
sort of association,
third degree of
I've opened for Jim Jeffries. So
You were there.
That's right.
they're in spirit, mate. They're in
that's
spirit.
exactly what I'm telling myself while I wank at night anyway. But
One day, mate. One day.
That's
Mate.
it.
that's right.
That's it.
That's right. On to you, Lachlan. Who's your fave?
Probably Jimmy Carr,
Oh,
I'd have to say.
he's
Just 'cause
touring
of that-
very soon. I think I saw it.
Yeah, I did see something like that.
Today.
I don't know. It's just his dark humor.
Mm.
I don't know. I just like things that shouldn't be laughed at. Maybe
Yep.
is a
Yeah,
good way
cool.
to put it. But
Oh,
it's, I don't know. He just cracks me up.
And that laugh is just something else, isn't it? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
and he looks like a ventriloquist doll. Like it's so weird.
Yeah, he
Like,
fucking does, eh?
He actually looks like
Yeah.
a doll.
Yeah.
That's a good range. Question number 3.
Question number 3.
Fuck, I always get this wrong. We'll go with this one.
Let's just pull from a fucking hat
Just
now.
yeah,
like,
it is getting a bit like that. Have you guys ever meditated or have any experience with meditation?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I used to be right into it.
Yep.
Go to those Reiki healings, and one of my friends, his mum was like full into all that stuff, so we used to do it there, and even just go we used to go through the bush and just find a place near a waterfall or something like that. It was
Yeah,
used
that's
to
cool, man.
but yeah, we just
cool.
just do it and have a good
What's the nature
sit down
like
and do nothing.
around your area? Is it like very forest dense, or are you close to the beach?
Both really. Where we're
Oh, that's
situated,
cool.
you kind of got like a beach 10 minutes that way. Otherwise, you just go straight and you're in like mountains and
Yeah, that's
forests.
dope.
Dude, that's
really.
fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I'm going
Yeah.
to
Yeah, we're in a
Wollongong.
good spot.
That's cool. Here it's kind of like, well, where I am now, it's probably like 15 minutes to the hills. It's like Adelaide's like surrounded by hills, basically.
Yeah.
And then you got
So-
it's probably only about 15 to the beach as well, so it's not that
Yeah,
bad.
it's not
Really. I
really
guess we're
that,
just
yeah.
used to it.
Yeah.
Fucking where we are in
desert.
the north is just a bit
Everywhere
shit.
else.
desert.
Yeah,
you
and
get
desert
deserts.
everywhere.
Yeah,
that's
and
right.
desert once you get over those hills.
Dirt.
Just
Yeah.
nothingness.
So, any of you other boys have any experience in meditation or into anything like that?
I'm ignorant about it. I kind of feel like it may even be my thing, but I've never looked enough into it. Besides, locking myself in a room and listening to music and closing my eyes and doing deep breathing. That's
Yeah,
the closest
cool.
There you
I've
go.
ever
That's
got.
It's
that's
the
a
same
form of
thing, mate.
meditation,
Yeah.
dude. That's right.
Yep.
Like music is a huge thing for me as well, man. Like I've got certain songs that I'll just go to when I'm like, just want to try and get into a good place.
For sure.
And I guess even that is probably a poor man's form of meditation if there's something that you go and do. Is there anything else, I guess, like looking at the mental health stuff, you obviously touched on it. If it's not meditation, other than, going in your room and putting music on, is there anything that you do in particular to kind of help you, through anything that you're trying to get through?
Writing music is always going to be an outlet for sure. Otherwise, I'm a massive nerd and I play video games 50% of my life. So that's
Yeah,
about it.
dude.
Fuck
It's
yeah.
a
What are you
distraction
playing
for
at the
sure.
moment?
I'm a Valorant nerd.
That's so funny. Your brother's playing Valorant downstairs right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. There you
We
go.
heard him yelling out on fucking some sort of team
Oh
chat
yeah, he was
before.
raging over some sweaty kid. That's for sure.
Yeah, that'll be me for sure as well.
Yeah.
don't worry.
Yeah.
Damon's playing in the background, right?
Yeah, he is.
He
Yeah.
wasn't looking at Google. He was just fucking
Guys are an A.
sniping. I'm actually, it's kind of along the same thing, but Overwatch 2 comes out soon, and I gave up on Overwatch 1 because it just kind of, they shat the bed. But they seem to be redeeming themselves as much as Blizzard and Activision can possibly redeem themselves of anything
it
at
is
this
Blizzard
point.
At the end of the,
But I've got a little
Yeah.
bit of hope for it, so let's see if I can reclaim some of that.
COD?
What's that?
You're gonna get the new COD?
I lost.
nah,
COD's
COD's
lost me,
gone,
man.
man.
Yeah, they lost me.
Yeah.
I think I did enjoy Modern Warfare, the last one, but yeah, it's just that churn and
the same
burn.
formula. But that being said, I recently in the last maybe 2 weeks got Far Cry 6. And it's even though it's the same formula as every other Far Cry from like Far Cry 3 onwards, I still fucking loved it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is.
It's on the mood you're in, I guess.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. It's kind of like one of those like, Assassin's Creed things where you can just count on having a decent experience if
Yeah.
you go into it with the right mindset. If you go into it like a whingy gamer that has to pick apart everything, then you're probably not going to have a fun time. But
Yeah,
if you're like,
exactly.
I just want to snipe some dudes in the head and
Yeah,
drive a
and just-
car, then you're probably
you're all good.
Meditation for sure. Just shoot people in the face. That's
Yeah,
right.
fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
Chris, obviously, I guess that it's a two-part question now because we've added one. Are you gaming at all, and do you meditate, or do you meditate while gaming?
Yeah.
Okay, let's start with the meditation. So I tried meditation once.
Yeah.
My missus
That's
tried to get me to do it, and she chose the wrong time. Like I was too busy worrying about the KFC that I ordered.
Yeah.
And like I'm sitting there, I couldn't do it. I lasted about a minute. Done. KFC rolled up. I was happy. That was my happy place.
Are we talking about the same thing?
Yeah, I don't know.
No, isn't that what we're talking about? Meditation? Like
Yeah, but lasting a
meditation.
minute in KFC, it just seems to go down a whole different,
The whole mukbang route there.
a whole different ball game.
probably shouldn't have shared that much information.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
not saying anything
let's
about a
move on.
greasy box, but
Let's move on to the next question.
yeah. Oh, we didn't. We still got one more. He was going to ask him about the games. You just cut him off.
Oh,
before
sorry,
he
Chris. Go on. What
we
games
got
you
lost.
playing, brother?
Yeah, you a gamer at all?
Okay, so
Crash Medic.
don't start. The boys know that I'm the worst gamer that ever lived. Like terrible. I've got videos. I'll send them to you guys later.
All right.
Yes, please do.
It's Crash Bandicoot. I tried. I suck.
Is it the new one or the
but
old
there's
one?
this-
Like the
I was
remaster?
playing
The
the
remastered
remastered
Fuck,
one.
Yeah.
it's hard, dude.
It is hard.
It's fucking hard.
I was so good as a kid, and now
yeah,
I'm like,
but they've changed the fucking
throwing
physics
the
or something,
controller
man. So
and,
it's
yeah.
fucking way harder than I
no, I just
remember.
don't have hand-eye coordination because of alcohol and drug abuse. Probably,
Yeah, well, you know,
but,
you get that. You get that. You get that on the big jobs, don't you?
and Lachlan, any games for you before we move on?
I'm just a classic RuneScape nerd. I can't get off it.
Oh, that's a fucking old
Wow,
school
are they
classic.
bringing out an
Old school.
expansion or something that I see?
No,
Is
they
there,
just,
like,
they just
something-
allow mining to go to level 100 now. That's,
Yeah. No, I don't know. I haven't found. I think the latest game that's kind of like caught my fancy is The Quarry, but I just haven't found myself being able to just sit down and just have a game that just like grabs my attention
yeah, that's
more
fair.
than a couple of hours, and I'm like, oh, I'll never play this again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fair enough.
So how long have you been playing RuneScape for then? Because that is
Years.
yeah,
That's a
wow.
fucking cult
Yeah.
classic.
Well, you just found out that there's a mobile one, and you almost fucking jizzed in your
I
pants.
know.
the other day.
I know. I
You're
still
like-
haven't got it, but I want to get it.
yeah, because you know that once you download it, it's
Yeah,
fucking
that's game over, man.
Yeah,
No more
you're
pod.
stuck. Yeah,
Yeah.
No more
stuck
pod,
forever.
no more music. Quit your job.
Yeah.
Oh shit, knocking shit over.
Yeah.
Question, whatever the fuck number we're up to.
Yeah,
now.
I forgot what number we're up to. What's one
Four.
conspiracy theory that you believe in?
Oof.
Dun, dun, dun.
If we had the little sound for it, we should get a little.
Oh, we should get a little dun dun dun, or like crinkling of tinfoil.
Sound desk.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh.
Go as heavy as you like. There's not going to be one that we
there's
haven't.
not much.
Maybe the Hollow Earth.
Oh,
Oh,
no, we haven't actually
we
talked
haven't
about
had-
that.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Have you read about Admiral Byrd and his expedition in maybe it was like the early 1900s, like 1930 or something like that, where he flew over Antarctica and said that he saw the entry to Hollow Earth?
Yeah, I have read about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And even on, I'm just going to keep adding, but the Google Earth are blocked the points at the bottom and
Yep.
the top. So
Yep.
apparently you can't search for that either.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just one thing that's kind of got me. It's like, well, maybe.
Yeah, like what are they hiding it for? You know.
Of
That's
course,
sketchy.
the aliens, but aliens exist anyway, so we all know
definitely, definitely.
Absolutely. I actually don't know about the Hollow Earth one, and I know a
yeah?
lot of fucking conspiracies.
You should fucking
so-
check it out, bro.
Yeah,
Check it
there's
out.
one. I know what I'm doing when I get home. For the other boys, any conspiracies that you're like, yep, this is definitely not this is a conspiracy fact.
I don't know if it's necessarily. I mean, there's a couple. I mean, obviously Epstein's suicide is obviously one.
No one's mentioned that, which is one of the most blatant
sus
fucking.
Yeah, hey.
Yeah, there's no fucking way he can.
Nah,
suicide.
man. No way.
And then, I mean, 9/11 conspiracies can get me as much as they want. I feel like there's no way that there was not some involvement.
At this
from
point, with
the
all the
government.
evidence, man, it's just like fuck. There's
Yeah.
definitely,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, it's in our like tagline for the podcast. What is it? From music to mental health to something to Bush did 9/11 is the actual podcast tagline. So that's definitely one that resonates very heavily with us. But mentioning the Epstein thing as well, like if you look through linearly most like sort of podcast, the whole disappearing like footage is just such a common thing, like where they're like, oh, the cameras in the prison cell weren't working, like
turned off.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
always
yeah.
through. So like all of the, people like us who've been looking at shit well before Epstein didn't kill himself, we were like, this is just and
it's not
red
even-
flag city. But again, the problem is that everyone like makes the memes and whatever, but no one actually demands any fucking justice or anything. Like they just
Well, it's just
why?
like, what are you gonna do? Yeah,
well,
I mean,
that's right.
like,
Yeah, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Question number 5.
Question number
Chrissy boy, what
5.
do you
Is
got,
this the
Chris?
final?
Don't come to me because you know it's going to be something
come on, Chris,
stupid.
what do you got, mate?
Second.
Oh yeah, we still need a conspiracy.
Bigfoot.
Yeah,
Bigfoot.
Oh no, Bigfoot! He's out there. I'm telling you.
he's out there.
You know what? I reckon.
He's in the top left-hand corner of the Zoom chat.
I reckon Bigfoot's interdimensional. I reckon he exists, right? But he doesn't always exist on our plane.
Fuck, you took that to a level that
Yeah,
no
that-
one.
that-
What do you
that's a
mean? He's
completely
onto something.
different level, that one.
So you know how they magically
Appear
he'll
and
be
disappear,
there and appear
yeah.
and disappear. So essentially, it would just be how atoms vibrate at a certain frequency, 7 point whatever it is, right? I reckon that he's got the ability, or these Bigfoot or these creatures have the ability to change the rate at which their atoms can vibrate, so they fade
Just
in
fade
and out
it.
of like when you're tuning a radio.
That's why no
you're
one
tuning
can
a
find
fucking traddle. That's why you
Yeah.
can't find them.
And I mean, why
Do you
did that?
think
Where,
he is the abominable snowman?
wow.
If he's got snow on him, bro, he must be.
Where,
He must be.
where do you think they got the idea for Chewbacca from? Right?
Yeah.
It was a fucking. It was a Bigfoot sighting. All right, it's the final question.
Wait.
do we
One
miss
more,
one?
one more, and then the final one.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I know. What's the best piece of advice you've ever been given? Always forget that one.
That's a good one.
I know we fire them in thick, ropey, and heavy, right? Just juicy,
How am I
thick.
Favorite
supposed to
adjective.
think of this?
Girthy.
I haven't recovered from the favorite song one yet.
Yeah, I
Still
know. That's why we
We're
like
going to be
to.
thinking about that for the next 6 months.
I know.
Yeah.
You're gonna be like,
Was that
"Can we
really
do a
my favourite song?"
Can we do a do-over? I'm
Yeah.
like, no, we can't, because the technical difficulties almost meant we couldn't fucking do it in the first place. So, no do-overs. Final answers. Best piece of advice. We need Jeopardy music to like.
We do need Jeopardy music.
Yeah.
Or the heartbeat from fucking.
Oh, from Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Yeah, the heartbeat.
I don't know. I can't remember who told me, but I guess it's just like the whole stress less and just smile, really.
Yeah,
Because like, I don't know. I've just kind of just lived by that for a while.
yeah.
Just not to worry so much about shit you can't change.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't let it bring you down. Don't let it weigh on you for so long. Otherwise, it's just going to keep building and snowballing onto you. So
Yeah,
Awesome.
that's so good, man. Oh, he set the bar.
He set the bar.
I had a friend a long time ago where I used to worry so much about let's say the way I looked or the way I would talk or anything like that, and it was literally just like fuck what other people think. At the end of the day, you just be the best version of you can be. And,
Yeah, fuck yeah, man.
That's what's most important.
A lot of people get wrapped up in what other people think about them, and it's easy to. Everyone does to a certain degree, but like that is a fucking big one, man. I think people, should
I
just
used
be able
to
to live their own
revolve
lives.
my whole world around what other people thought of me, and
Yeah.
thankfully now I don't give a shit, and
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, that's good, man.
dude, I was a massive culprit for it as well. Like, coming from being bullied as a youngster, and then, like sought validation so much that it just was something I obsessed over. And, at the detriment of my own health or mental health as well, where I was so desperate to make sure that I had the approval and everything of everyone else that I, was willing to compromise so much. So yeah, that's something that definitely resonates with me, and something that I absolutely don't give a fuck about now, because I wouldn't be doing a podcast. That's for sure if I was worried about, or doing comedy if I was worried about what people thought.
Especially one talking about fucking Bigfoot. That's
that's right. And speaking of Bigfoot, the Bigfoot Bassmaster, what's the best piece of advice you've ever been given? And if you don't change your handle to Bigfoot Bassmaster after this, then we're going to be upset.
I'll change it.
Thank you.
But actually, I don't know what the best piece of advice I have ever been given is. I can't think off the top of my head. One that's helped me recently was, well, when I first started Alienist, I kind of really sucked on the bass. And I got told by our producer, in a nice way, pretty much, you suck, learn how to play the bass.
Yeah,
and I really went home, I watched videos, I learned how to do this. It actually made me a better bass player, I took it in.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah.
See, even
that's awesome.
Non-constructive criticism can be good sometimes.
Yeah.
It was more along the lines of
that.
It was more along the lines of you're picking it like a little bitch.
Yes,
Oh,
exactly.
really?
Yeah,
Really?
you got to slap at a bass.
Picking it so soft, they replaced him with a MIDI bass.
How is he now, boys? We'll give him how has he improved enough to the standard?
100%.
Yeah, fuck yeah. That's what we want to hear.
Bass
Bassmaster,
master.
fuck
yes,
yeah.
dude, that's so good.
He's mastered it.
He can
He's
stay
mastered
for
Simple as
sure.
that.
He's good, man. He's great.
That's fantastic, man. Have you thought about so? Did you say you started on guitar at high school, but then went to bass later? Have you started playing more guitar and stuff now as well, just to try and get your fingers fucking doing all sorts? Or
Yeah, a little bit at home, but I have a bit of a go still. But it's mainly just the bass now, just really trying to get better at that.
Yeah, mastering it. That makes sense.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Mastering it, yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking oath. Fucking oath.
Awesome. Well, it's time for the all important, the final question. It's our favorite question of every Guestion set. It is: would you rather fight a horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses? I love that silence. That silence is golden, man. That's so
Very serious question.
One duck that is the size of a horse.
Or 100 horses that are the size of a duck.
I've thought about this too, and I never thought I'd be asked it.
That's so good.
A horse-sized duck. Ducks are pretty aggressive. So one the size of a horse is gonna fuck you up.
Yeah.
It's gonna get you.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying for 72 episodes. So we have different opinions, and that's why I love it. As soon as someone starts leaning towards one of ours, we get fucking excited.
I am a big man, but I don't think I can take on a horse-sized duck.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go the little ones. Just boot the little shits. Just eat them.
Beautiful. That's one for team me. What else we got, boys?
Chris,
anyone want to argue the point?
I'm not even going to argue the point here.
No, let them. Let's see if someone else wants to take a different approach.
Okay, well, if you go for the little ones, did you not watch The Lost World Jurassic Park? The little green ones that come in and just bam, it's done. You don't want that. They're going to get you.
They will get you, bro.
Sorry.
They fucking will get you. There's 100 of them, bro. There's 100 of them. And muscle density of a horse, bro.
Muscle density of it.
It's a fucking horse. It's not like it's a fucking raptor with claws.
Yeah, no,
little Mr. Eds.
Little Mr. Ed.
You get to be the tiebreaker. You get to be the tiebreaker right now as well. So this is make or break.
This is it.
100% fight 100 duck-sized horses.
Yes. Fuck yes. Another one for team. Yeah, because I don't know. He sort of talks to them like they're gonna make some sort of Megatron fucking horse and form together.
Power Rangers.
That's right. They're gonna be fucking Power Ranger duck-sized horses. But
you underestimate the number of 100 horses, mate.
This giant beak just coming in fucking your day up.
Ducks be frail though, bros. They really
don't
do.
be frail. Oh, fuck.
All right.
Well,
let's wrap it up there. Alienist boys, thank you so much for coming on the cast, having a chat about music, mental health, and everything in between. We really appreciate it.
And yeah, we can't wait to see you. Obviously, keep us in the loop with what's happening, and we will absolutely be down, and we'll try and bring every motherfucker that we can down to your show here in Adelaide, and absolutely have a huge one. You guys like a beer? Well, we've seen a Jack's can. You guys like a cheeky beer or two?
Give me a
100%.
PB, baby.
Yes. We will absolutely oblige in sinking a few of those with you when you're down here, boys. We really appreciate you coming on, and all the best for everything moving forward.
Thank you so much for having us on.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us, man.
Take care.
Thanks, boys.